Welcome to the RoxFilm Festival Daily Script Reads. We're so excited. This is day one of 2024, and we're hoping that you're going to thoroughly enjoy our scripts. Today, we have a script by Dante. Dante, you can introduce yourself. Minutes of Arc.
Hi, I'm Dante Haughton, and I wrote this screenplay. I wrote this script here,
You can name it.
and I'm from New Haven, Connecticut,
Thank you.
originally, but I live in Boston now.
Great. Joshua?
Hey everybody, my name is Joshua Olumide, and I'm playing Cam.
Thank you. Janine?
Hi, I'm Janine Robinson, and I'll be playing character of a customer and a narrator.
Wonderful. Justin?
Hi, everyone. I'm Justin Davis, and I'll be playing Eric.
Great. Parmie?
Hi, everyone. I'm Parmie Polk, and I'll be playing Marta.
Wonderful. Christy?
Hello, everyone. My name is Meagan Dilworth, and I'll be playing Christy.
Sorry, Megan. Stephen?
Hey everybody, I'm Stephen Spencer and I'll be playing Alec.
Wonderful. And today I will be reading the role of the narrator, the first narrator. We have two. And then I will be reading the role of Pete. And my name is Andrea Lyman. We are starting with Minutes of Arc, written by Dante Haughton. I think I did his name wrong, but I'm sorry. Interior, Cal's apartment, night. Gas heater sounds haunt the apartment, knocking on doors and exhaling musically. Cam, 25, sweeps the floors of his room, accumulating dirt at the threshold of the door. The lights flicker regularly. Cam replaces the light bulbs in his room, but they continue to flicker. His former work credential sits next to the trash bin, not in it. Seamlessly, he proceeds to sweep through into the hallway, ultimately finishing in the kitchen. His is the only of the segments of the room which is clean. The dishes piling in the sink, sitting with wet sponges, are not his. Cam shakes his head and puts the broom away in the small cupboard, which also houses a roommate's military uniforms. Walking back to his room, a door opens.
Cam, can you look at something for me?
Yeah, what's up?
It smells like something's burning in the bathroom.
Okay.
He follows. Eric doesn't turn the light on here either. Cam examines with his nose, and the radiator hisses.
Something is burning. When you first turn on the radiators, the dust accumulated from the air is singed off for a bit.
Huh. I bet you're an okay tradesman.
I'm an engineer.
Okay, but you were studying for the electric exam, right? Like how I'm studying for the med exam. We're alike, you know.
Sure. What is it you're going to school again for?
Prestige.
Anything else?
Cam points at the ceiling where a smoke detector seems to have run off.
You're missing your smoke detector.
Oh, yeah, Jack took them down when we first moved in.
Why?
Well, they started beeping.
Cam. Interior pharmacy, night. Everything is behind glass. Cam stands before the batteries and presses the service button. He waits. Someone approaches.
Yeah, I can't really
Excuse
hear.
me.
Yes.
Excuse me, do you work here?
Actually, I'm here for a different reason, I think.
Oh, forgive me. I have trouble reading. Can you tell me the price on here?
She shows him a pair of reading glasses.
$20.
20. Oh. Which is better on me?
She models two different pairs.
Thank you.
She bows and goes. Cam looks back to the batteries and presses the button again. Christy, an apprentice of the pharmacist, appears.
Which one?
This here.
I mean, which batteries?
Oh, these, please.
She hands him a pack of 9 volts.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Register. Outside the window, police lights shine, then shut off. Cam waits alone with his 9 volts at the pharmacy's owner, Marta, wearing a wrist brace, returns to her post from outside. She looks at the window, then to Cam.
Thank you for your patience, hon. That's over with.
No problem. What's over with?
The robbery.
Hmm?
We got robbed
Oh, no. When?
just now.
Just now. Are you okay?
Yes, dear, I'm okay. We get hit all the time.
She rings him up.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, they come around all the time. Desperate young folk, lost boys.
Gives him the receipt.
How often?
Regular enough. I have the cash ready nowadays.
What do you think about it? What do you think to do about it? I mean, you can't just keep on getting robbed of the things that are rightfully yours.
What do I think to do about an armed robber pointing a gun in my face? Survive. Besides, I did not build this pharmacy on my own. The community built it. They're gone now. You know your neighbors.
I barely know my roommates.
Fractured and alone, ill fending.
She turns to the glass cabinets and applies labels. Christy passes by, drawing Cam's eye.
I see. And you're the apothecary.
I am.
You run both the register and the drugs.
Excuse me. When I have to, when the kids call out sick.
That's a lot. Are you looking for extra hands around, like ever?
We just hired some new people, young folk. They come and go, but I managed to get a roster every season. But not her.
Who?
My apprentice, Christy.
Oh, what? No.
You ain't slick. I don't need glasses to see that, honey.
No. Well, thanks and take care.
Take care, dear. Maybe check out the hardware store down the road for a job. It's always the same guy when I go. He doesn't seem to want to be there.
Interior, hardware store day. On the counter, a storm glass shifts forecast. Alex sits in the corner practicing sailor knots. He pretends to be unbothered by Cam's entrance. Cam closes his umbrella and looks around, spotting the clerk. He heads for the bulbs. Alec perks up. Lighting aisle. Cam browses a limited selection. Alec appears behind him, watching. Cam rounds the corner. Plumbing aisle. He peruses, touching random items on his way through. Alec watches. Another turn. Tools aisle. Cam looks at wrenches. Alec is down the way. Cam avoids looking in his direction.
Yes, can I help you?
Excuse me?
You seem to be looking for something. The counter's that way.
I'm aware. How are you finding everything today?
I was looking for low wattage bulbs. I didn't see any.
We have a limited selection.
There seems to be a voltage problem in my apartment. Is there a chance you have more in the back?
No. What you see What we have is what you see.
Okay, well, thank you very much.
Alec backs off, returning to his post. Counter. Cam appears with ratcheting socket wrench and a power drill. He hands the drill to Alec, but the handoff flops, leaving a small crack in the glass counter. It's unclear who's at fault.
Really, man?
Nah, that was all you.
I don't think so.
I handed it to you and you fumbled. I saw the whole thing. Just ring me up already. Just stop it.
Stop what?
Just stop, dude.
What's going on here?
A voice comes from the back, downstairs. Pete,
What's going
48
on here?
The voice comes.
This nice customer here just dropped a crowbar on your countertop and
Shut up, Alec. What seems to be the problem?
I'm just trying to. I was checking out of here and this guy dropped my drill on the glass.
Your drill? This is my shop and you haven't paid yet.
I'll pay.
You haven't paid yet and you broke my glass?
I didn't break the glass. I just said that.
How do I know that? He said different.
He's clearly incompetent.
you broke the glass and you know it. You owe us for the counter, man. That's debt.
I didn't break the counter. Just ring me up already.
If you broke the counter, you gotta pay that off.
You break it, you buy it.
Shut your mouth. It was you, wasn't it?
Cam turns to leave.
Not so fast. You leave without paying, I got the cops on speed dial.
Talk to your man.
You
He
want me to
turns.
call them dogs, boy?
Okay. I'm no one's boy. We can go right now. I'll drop both of you and call the cops myself.
Hold on now.
Stops at the door.
If you do go, you should know I'm just messing. I think I like you.
What?
Let's just say Alec broke the glass. I have a preposition.
Alec gestures defensively.
He did. And what do you mean you have a preposition? I don't have time for this.
Evidently you do. It's 11 a.m. on Tuesday. Why are you here?
Nothing.
You seem handy.
What's that supposed to mean?
I mean, I don't believe you would just lose grip of a crowbar.
Power drill.
It doesn't matter. You could pay it off with some work, but actually that's coming from his check. He plays games and tricks and tells stories on unassuming folks all the time.
I do not think
You looking for a job, man?
I was.
Because I could fill a shift or two.
Why am I going to work here after that?
I pay well. With more hands here, I can train Alec up and not have to be here so often. I have other things to do.
Oh, I think I know.
Pete gives him a dirty look.
We could use your energy around here. We like you.
You try to coerce me.
Pete smirks. Cam exits. Interior. Cam's apartment day. Kitchen. Cam stands in the kitchen looking at his utilities. $500 to split 3 ways. He scans it with scrutiny, then returns it to the counter on the side of the room that looks a mess. On his end, the surfaces are clean. The counter is clear without clutter in sight. His cabinets, too, are just as empty, save for a bag of rice and a few canned goods. Cam reaches through them, discovering that there's nothing else on hand. A tied sleeve of crackers appears. That's all for now. His phone vibrates.
Hey, Christy.
What was that all about?
You mean, what?
Don't play dumb with me. Thinking you can get away with that is just dumb as I'll allow you to be.
I'm not sure what to make of that.
I told you not to visit me at work.
I needed some batteries. Apparently, my roommates don't know what those are.
Apparently, you don't know what discretion is. Now now she knows what you look like. You couldn't find the corner store?
It's not like she's going to remember me. Your boss is too busy running an understaffed pharmacy. She claims she has enough help. Yeah, she claims she has enough help, yet she's behind the register all day.
Not all day. I run it too. That's how this works. And she will remember. I have you know, she built her job and life and community from the ground up. She's the only one keeping it intact.
If you ask her, she credits the community.
False. She's modest and she's sharp.
Then why would you betray her?
She trusts me.
I don't know what to say to that.
I'm calling it off.
Wait, no.
Now you don't have to say anything, Mr. Chit Chat, talking it all up all day with her. Really, man?
Christy,
Cameron.
you can't call it off.
Why not? It was dumb to begin with.
Because.
Yes.
Christy, we planned a lot.
Because what?
Because I need this.
And?
Well, I just need the money.
Exactly. So why would I portray this lady I barely know is none of your business either?
I see.
Yeah? So do I.
Okay, what is it you see? Okay, we're on, right?
I see a young man who is lost.
Fair enough. Okay. I think your boss sees the same thing. That's why I'll be wearing a mask. You'll be in the back with the pill bottles, problem solved.
A moment.
You there? I know this is my idea.
How do we get to this point?
The past few months have been a blur to me. All I know is I need the funds.
This started as a joke. I'm an apprentice. I love medicine.
I love engineering. I have all the sketches back home.
I have nothing back home. Here, I have a way to help people. You know, Marta's giving me a path. Cam, I meant what I said.
I'm not following. Are we good? She doesn't know I know you.
We met at a sad and lonely's board game club. You don't know me.
That's exactly why this works.
I'd like you to join me in coming back to reality.
And not in honest contemplation.
No.
Okay.
No, Christy.
This has all been a distraction.
Wait.
I think the hardware folks are hiring.
Look, I know.
Click.
Thank you. I want to welcome back all the actors and our writer. Oops. Yay, we did it. Welcome to our first daily reads. Yes, fantastic. So I'm going to start with our writer, Dante. Tell us a little bit about the origin of this story, how you came about to write this.
Okay. Well, the story is loosely inspired by my experience moving away from home and getting to a point where I was really caring way too much about work and feeling like using my energy and putting in everything I have into one type of work was gonna help me get to where I want to be in the future with my aspirations. And the story sort of well, one, the script comes from a larger screenplay where there's a full story arc, and the protagonist discovers that he needs to restart and needs to just change his trajectory because he is not on a path to reach his goals. Just because he's busy doesn't mean that he's productive. And it's turned into something that's actually regressive and made him a more selfish person, especially because he really values independence. And so this scene actually comes from the subplot of the story where the antagonist, who is Cam in this script, he's actually not much of a foil for the protagonist. They're actually really similar people, and they're just on different parts
Who's
of the
the
same timeline.
protagonist?
The protagonist, that character's name is Amos, and he's essentially a contractor that aspires to be an architect and has to learn that there's not necessarily a direct path to those things. They're very different, and they have very different prerequisites and, things you have to learn and already written paths that you have to follow. But he thinks that because he's a contractor and he's doing all this work, that eventually he'll get to this dream of his, and it drives him mad
Okay.
because of some of the things he experiences.
Mhm. And is this the first time you've heard actors read a script that was like a work in progress?
It is, yeah. It's the first time.
And were there any surprises to you, any things where you said, huh, didn't think it was that way, or hey, this is exactly the way I wrote it?
There were some things that surprised me, but I also think that I could see the actors picked up on the subtext and that they were playing these characters in ways I imagined. And I think if there's more text to work with here, it would be a little bit closer to, or if we had more time to discuss things, it would be a little bit closer to what I have in my mind. But this is all really great, and like seeing how an actor interprets whatever written is actually really helpful, because I might be imagining one thing, but there's a million ways to read a line, or there's a million ways to interpret an attitude that a character has, or a response to another character, and all that is great.
Yep, I'm glad. And one of the reasons we do this, it does open up things for the writers and also for the actors to play all different roles. We love playing roles that are like ourselves and roles that are nowhere like ourselves. And what we hope to come out of this is that as you write, you will have more readings and invite actors to read, because a lot of times actors will say, like, people think, oh no, and I'll have to do, but people like to do reading. So, and I'm going to open it up to actors, and I guess you have to use the raised hand so that you can tell about your experiences in reading this and how it felt for you. Because and for the audience to know, this is basically a cold read for the actors. We don't get it way ahead of time. I think most of the actors had it like a day or two ahead of time, but that didn't mean they had the time to read it a day or two ahead of time. So this is basically a cold read. And for me, there was another actor that was supposed to do the roles I read. So mine was minutes. It was an actual cold read. Joshua?
Yeah. Props to that was a true cold read for you, Andrea. Props to that. Yeah. Dante had I sat down with Dante some time ago, and he told me about this script, and this feature length screenplay, and I love it. I love when he told me about it because it's it's non-linear storytelling, and I'm a fan of non-linear storytelling, and so that within it intrigued me. And there's so many other moving pieces to the story. Um, I don't want to, I'll leave it to his own discretion to say anything regarding that, but yeah, hearing it out loud, is great on my end as well, and being able to interpret these words.
Mhm. Great. Anybody else have any comments? What it was like to play your character? It's Stephen.
Yeah. I just want to say I want to read the whole thing, man.
So do I.
Yeah, the way that everything happened, especially with like the girl coming back at the end is like, oh wait, he actually knows her. That was such a fun twist. I really enjoyed reading for her, playing this character, this sort of like mischievous guy who like through this dumb moment like moves the story forward. I love things like that, where it's like this tiny little situation could like just like change the whole trajectory of like everything happening. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Great
humor,
dialogue.
too.
Great dialogue. Yeah. And yeah, the humor's great.
Yeah, I love the way you played that role. Megan, you had your hand up?
Yeah, since the 4 pages was brought up, I just wanted to say it was interesting because I had those 3 lines in the pharmacy and I was like, okay, cool. And then like Steven said, came back yesterday and got 4 pages. And I was like, oh, okay, Christy has some secrets. And so that was interesting to play. It was actually fun to read. I got a little excited. I was like, okay, she's got some secrets. And now you just want to know a little more about like, if we were going back to the past, how did they meet at this board game? And like, yeah, like what is the relationship going to build to after she hangs up? So the cliffhanger at the end as well makes me want to be like, what's going to happen? So yeah, just to give context of what Stephen meant by like the 4 pages. There are 4 new pages we got yesterday.
And whenever I see things like that, like in a movie or a play or whatever, a character that is lying, you don't know initially, is it a bad actor or is the person lying? Because sometimes on those kind of characters, it's like something seems false, but it could be that it's a bad actor. And then you later find, oh no, that person was lying, and who they were, so you're presenting one way and it's like, oh, and I love that because it gives you so much nuance to play where they on that, because you do know each other, and do you show it, do you not show it, how much do you show it, because your character might think that they're doing one way but doing another. So I love those kind of things. Parmie and then Justin.
Great. This was wonderful. I enjoyed playing Marta. I wish she had more to say, and especially after you gave us the other 4 pages, because I see the plot that was ensuing against her, and it would have been nice to see some kind of dynamics or hints that would have been given to her. She may not have known them, depending on how you write it, but it made me want to know, what would Marta think of the 2 of them more?
Of the betrayal.
Yes, the betrayal.
Okay. Justin?
Yeah, I really enjoyed playing with y'all today, and I think the main thing I was doing before we came here was just like looking at the script briefly and being like, oh, there's so many options, like, and have to make decisions quickly. And I think that's my favorite part of cold reads and of working with this piece too.
Mhm. And for the audio, Janine, I'm just going to say, and I'll get to you in 1 second, Janine. But one
That's
thing that's
fine.
interesting for, this is just information for the audience, that for actors, is when you have these kind of roles, especially a cold read, and it's usually a lot of times it'll be strangers because you're at a reading and you don't know the other actors, you may not know the writer well, and so you're just doing it. So you're just making choices, and as an actor, you just have to make a choice and commit to it. And it could be you're totally wrong, but as long as you commit to it, and it could be you're totally wrong, and then the writer says, but I like that idea. And that's happened in a lot of films and TV shows and stuff like that, that they say they wrote it one way, but then the person played it. Like I know in Bridgerton, they I love that series. I love Shonda Rhimes, but the series 3, there was a big scene that happened that was written one way, but the actor came at it a different way, and they said, "Oh, we like that way," and it changed the trajectory of everything that happened later, because that actor, instead of doing fierce anger, played pain and hurt, and it changed everything. Janine, and then we have a question from the audience. 2 questions from
Okay.
Janice.
Okay, well, I just want to say that I love doing these play reads, and I'm so happy that I was part of doing your feature. And I like the dialogue between the characters. I like how you revealed the relationship and that there is more to come. I liked even doing the narrating because it kind of sets the scene so that people can use their imagination as to what things look like. So it was a very nice experience, and I just want to thank you.
And we have a question, question and a comment from Janice Jackson. Let me not pretend I don't need my glasses to read. The question is, what is the primary purpose of these readings within the, I can answer that one, the Roxbury International Film Festival, and our future readings open to the community? And then she also writes, I was surprised to find out that the engineer who seems so nerdy was actually planning a robbery. On the primary purpose of these readings within the Roxbury International Film Festival, it's a film festival, and so we want all aspects of filmmaking. And the daily reads, they came out of shutdown when we had a full virtual film festival, and just came up with the idea of let's have daily readings, because they were happening, these readings online, Zoom, were happening all over the place during then. And we said, well, we should have one of those. And it kept up, and it's an opportunity for people to get on the ground floor and see how the sauce is made. That's what it's basically is. You're seeing how the writer is crafting something and learning from their craft. You're seeing how the actors approach it. It is just basically a see how the sauce is made, and also introducing writers to the idea of using actors before the final cast, because usually the actors come in when everything is done. But this is an idea of, hey, you can use actors all along the way. And professional actors love to do this kind of thing. And are they open to the community? I'm not quite sure what that means, but because it's open, everybody can, this is free, so anybody can watch it. If you mean for the reading part, it's bigger and bigger, open to more and more actors. We try to mainly have at least a majority of union actors, because SAG-AFTRA is supporting this program. So, we know which way our bread is buttered. And let's see, the other thing is, I was surprised to, oh yeah, well, Dante can comment on it. I was surprised to find out that the engineer who's, it's like people like Cam that make people assume us engineers are quirky and not fun to be around. Oh, okay. Wait, it's people like Cam that make people assume us engineers are quirky and not fun to be around. Huh. So I guess that's for Dante to comment on.
Okay. Yeah. So I just want to thank the actors again for bringing your voices to the script, and also uh for taking the last 4 pages and embracing it, because when I sent that, I didn't know how anyone would react, because it was a big change at the last minute.
We
So
love
I'm glad that you
changes.
embraced it, so thank you for that. And the question of, well, I didn't really write Cam to be an example of a stereotypical engineer. He's really just, he's actually not following the typical path of an engineer. He's kind of doing his own thing, and he thinks that working in tangential capacities to engineering, um, some of which I'm still, I mean, I'm really still researching this whole thing. I'm researching a lot of it, but in the beginning of the script, his roommate mentions that Cam was taking an electrician's exam, which is not something that an engineer does. And so the reason he's doing that is because he has technical skills and he's just trying to find more ways to use those skills, but he has no sense of direction. So he's getting further and further away from his dream of being a real engineer. And yeah, the stoicism that you see in him is more just from his work ethic and not really knowing how to exist outside of the space of working. And he doesn't really have very many friends. He doesn't have a lot of experience with a healthy social life. And so those are the factors that lead him to eventually robbing later in the text. But yeah, the scene with him and Christy is new. So um it's more of a summary or synecdoche in some ways of a robbery that happens in the future that I wanted to add into this script without introducing new characters and without, you know, changing too much with you know, with the last, basically the day that I sent it. And also, the last point I had on that was lost.
Okay. And we have another
But
question.
yeah, thanks for the question. Thanks for the
Sure.
question.
Adrian D. Simone or D. Simone, I'm not sure which, says, I like how the descriptions in the first scene were detailed, such as the dishes piled up and the certification next to the trash can. I thought it was funny when Andrea came on as Pete wearing the Obama cap. I just tried to make something different. It was like a last second. Really, I knew I was reading these roles 5 minutes ago. Did Andrea say I have a preposition? I did, and it is written preposition. And since I was just doing a cold read, if it was proposition, I didn't have time to think. So I don't know whether that was a mistake in writing or you really meant to say preposition, because I think it said preposition,
Oh,
not proposition. But like I'm saying, I was
yeah,
so.
it
So,
was supposed to be proposition.
okay, because
Well,
sometimes
preposition
that
as
it's like
in
the person, it's a malapropism and somebody says wrong words. And I didn't know Pete's character well enough to know whether he uses wrong words. Okay, so oops.
No, that's actually a good question, because that's something that I could explore, but it was meant to be preposition as in
Hmm.
like I have an idea.
Wait, so you meant proposition or did you mean preposition?
Yes.
Wait,
Proposition.
proposition. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So, and that's the kind of thing with actor. Had I had, a minute, I would have asked, but I didn't. And somebody asked, what's the meaning of the title, Minutes of Arc? Oh, good question.
Oh, well, that it's a pretty abstract meaning, or well, the meaning is actually something that comes from the navigation world, like the world of sailing, and uh,
Wow.
minutes of arc are a measurement unit used to figure out where the sun is, or it's basically a way to look at how high the sun is in the sky and figure out what time it is using only your hands. So you stick out your fist to arm length and you spread your fingers this way, and you can tell based on how the sun meets the horizon and your hands, what hour it is. And if you know enough about uh, navigating, then you could figure out where you are and go from there. But it's also a unit that's used in the eyeglass and eyewear industry. So when someone says you have 20/20 vision, that is actually a measurement of how far you can see a standard font letter, which is measured in 5 uh, arc minutes. And I don't know the exact calculation, but it translates to 20. So that's what the second 20 represents, but the first 20 is the distance from the subject that you're looking at. So it's 20 feet away. You can read a letter that is uh, 5 arc meters high, or 5 arc meters large. I mean, I haven't really done that measurement myself, and I may be saying it incorrectly, but that's the general gist of where the idea comes from, and a lot of the
I
story has
was
to do with.
nowhere close. Nowhere close on what the meaning of the title was. Anybody anywhere close on the meaning of the title from what he just said?
Not
Well,
remotely.
Joshua doesn't
No.
count because he already knew.
I didn't, but I bet I would bet that Janine knew because she's worked in the eye field of
Ah,
vision and
okay.
testing and all that. And it's amazing to hear her talk about it. So it's too bad she left.
Yeah. Well, I totally didn't know. I was thinking a whole different kind of an arc. And I
Mm.
didn't mean you don't count, Joshua. I just meant because you've already had a discussion with him. So it would be like cheating if you knew. So-
Well,
Yeah, this goes to show you how much thought is put into, how much thought goes into something like this.
yeah, definitely.
yes, it's mainly a reference to some of the ideas I'm working with. But yeah, I thought it was a different way to explore titles. I don't know if that's going to be a title that I use in the long run, but I learned about minutes of arc recently at work, and I looked it up and I was like, oh, this is so interesting. And then I realized that there were connections between what I was looking at and what I had written, so I applied it.
Parmie, you had a question?
Just a comment. Thank you. You opened another door for me in learning something because I remember all my scripts from the doctor and I can remember seeing arc, but I never would have related it to this play and the title. But now you've opened me up to seeing other things that arc means. So thank
That's
you.
what I love about these script reads, and anytime I'm cast in something or whatever, you open yourself up to information and to another world. There's always like a whole nother world. And at this point, I've been in the business a long time, so I've been in zombie places. I've been in with folks from Wakanda. I've been, like all kinds of worlds that it's you just learn something every time, and I love it. And sometimes it's a production I'm in, but sometimes it's a reading like this, and it still stays with you. So there's a frame of reference. Somebody says something, you're like, well, I can't that we'll know about. We're going to be closing up in a minute. Does anyone have any other? Oh, I have a question, and that is, are any, if not all, of the characters based on you, like their personality traits or something like that, based on you or people that you know personally?
Yes, definitely Cam is based on me. Uh, and as I said, Cam is actually an antagonist in the story. He's the antagonist, but the protagonist is essentially the same person. So those characters are based on me, and the character Christy is loosely based on someone that I know who works in a pharmacy, but not like the whole robbery part is not from that person. That I
Hope not.
wrote separately. But yeah, I mean, I think a lot of these characters are a combination of people that I know or grew up around,
Mhm.
and the characters in the hardware store, Pete and Alec, those are people that I don't really know as well, who I've had strange interactions with, or um people who are looking to cause problems for no reason or to manipulate you. Those come from characters in my life who have challenged me on the basis of wanting to prove something for themselves. Um, but yeah, obviously we all have, yeah. So actually, all these characters are based on people that I know when I think about it, but not every one of them is specific.
Mhm. Okay. Well, thank you for so much for sharing. And I hope you continue to share and know now that when you write the next part, feel free to email all the different actors and that you know, and maybe they'll say yes, maybe they'll say no, but especially on Zoom, it makes it so much easier to see all of the parts of your work and how it would sound and all of that. So definitely email me. You can email other people too. I'm sure actors like to act. So, and Zoom makes it so much easier because we don't have to, pay for parking. So thank you very much. And for the audience and everyone, there'll be another read tomorrow, every day this week. And then Friday will be a surprise reading, which we can't say what it is. One of those ask for forgiveness, not permission kinds of readings. And it's always fun. So all kinds of works all this week. So thank you very much. With that, we say adieu.
Thank you.
For the
Thank
rest
you.
of the
Great
festival.
working with everyone.
Great work with
Thank
you.
you, everyone.
Pleasure.
Great working with
Peace,
y'all.
everybody.
Yes, thank
Bye.
you. Thank you.
Have a good day.
Bye.
Bye-bye.